dig into math lesson 12.1. Convert customary measurements. I can compare and convert customary units of measurement. Spark your learning. Mount Rainier is in the state of Washington is one of the snowiest places on earth. During one winter storm, a meteorologist predicted 15.5 feet of snow at Mount Rainier. Another meteorologist predicted 156 inches of snow. Which snow prediction is greater? By how much? Okay, so we can either convert, so we have the 15.5 feet and then the 156 inches. So which snow prediction is greater? By how much? So we can either convert it to inches to feet or feet to inches. Okay, let's go ahead and do the first one from feet to inches. So how many inches are in a foot? 12. So for 15.5 inches, that's going to equal, so we need to take 12 times 15. Okay, so 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Mark off the 1, mark off the 5, put a 0 because we're moving to the 10 spot, correct? 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1, and then we add, so 0, 8, 1. Now, is that for the whole 15.5 inches? Or, oh, I put the wrong thing here, guys. This should be foot, not sorry. Okay, and then Jaden's right. We don't have the full foot, right? And we still have to get that half a foot. So how much is, we said there's 12 inches in a foot. So what's half of 12? 6. So we still need to add that plus 6 inches. So this gets us 186 inches. So was the first meteorologist longer or have more snow, or the second one? The first. So 15.5 feet is the most amount, right? Okay. Now we need to take 156 or 186 minus 156, and we get what? 30. What is 30 inches into feet? So we would say 30 divided by what, guys? 12, right? 12 goes into 30 how many times? 2 minus 24. We have 6 left over, so then we write that as a fraction, right? So 2 and 6 12, which equals, so the difference is 2.5 feet. Build understanding. Alita converts 8 pints to gallons using a visual representation. Measurement conversion to a larger unit. So 8 pints divided by 2 equals 4 quarts, and then 4 quarts divided by 4 equals 1 gallon. Okay, real quick, let's draw the gallon G, because that helps us, right? Okay, so we drew our gallon G, and then we also denoted that 1 cup equals 8 ounces. So look at Alita's diagram. Which unit is the smallest? How do we know? So which was the smallest? The gallon, the quart, or the pint? The pint was, correct? Okay. So we can tell by its what? Size. Okay. But its rectangles are smaller, right? Okay. So pint. Rectangles are smaller. Okay. Which unit is the largest? How do we know? Gallon. Gallon. Rectangle. Largest. Are there more or fewer of the smaller unit? There's more, right? Okay. We have more boxes, right? For the pints than we do the gallon. Are there more or fewer for the larger unit? Fewer. Because for the pint we had 8. For the gallon we only had 1, right? What operation do you use to convert from smaller unit to a larger unit? Do you use addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? Division, right? Okay. So letter F, look at the liquid volume conversions in the table. How would you convert a number of fluid ounces to a number of cups? So we're going from what? We're going from the fluid ounces, so you should have more, right? To the cup. So we would do what? What did we just say? We would divide. So on letter F, we said we would divide by 8 because 1 cup equals 8 ounces. So letter G, we said 32 divided by 8 equals 4 cups. So just to reiterate, if you go from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you're going to divide. If you go from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you are going to multiply. Because if you go larger and you want a whole bunch more little pieces, you need to get a bigger number, so you're going to multiply, right? If you have smaller pieces and you want to combine them to get bigger pieces, then you would divide, okay? A cubic foot of light fluffy snow weighs about 88 ounces. About how many pounds does a cubic foot of light fluffy snow weigh? So 88 ounces, and then they want to know about how many pounds it weighs. So how many ounces are equal to a pound? So look at your chart if you don't know how many ounces are in a pound. 16. So 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So look at the weight conversions in the table. How do you convert a number of ounces to a number of pounds? So are we going smaller to larger or larger to smaller? You're going smaller to larger because you're going from ounces to pounds, right? So what are we going to do? Divide. We're going to divide. So divide. Because we are going from smaller to larger. Letter C, write an expression to find the number of pounds of snow. So we said we would take 88 divided by 16, which equals P. So over to the side, we took 88 divided by 16, which equals 5, and then remainder 8, which we then turned into 5 and 8/16, which reduces down to 5.5 pounds. And then letter F, how many pounds is the cubic foot of snow weigh? 5.5 pounds. Step it out. Number 3, a frog jumps 48 inches. How many yards does the frog jump? So 48 inches, and then I want to know yards. So am I going smaller to larger or larger to smaller? I'm going smaller to larger. And what did we say? If you're going smaller to larger, you need to divide. So I want you guys to write that. That will be one of the steps in your work, okay? So how can you use the length conversions in the table to convert inches to yards? So how many inches are in a yard? So 1 foot equals what? So 12 inches equals 1 foot, and 1 foot equals what? Or not 1 foot. 3 feet equals what? 1 yard. So how do you convert a number of inches to number of feet? We just said we were going to do what? We are going to divide by what? Divide by 12. Okay, how many feet are in 48 inches? 4, right? How do you convert a number of feet to a number of yards? So we said we were going to what? Well, we divide by 3, right? In this case, we're going to divide by 3. So write the number of yards as a mixed number. How many yards does a frog need to jump? So you are going to take 48 divided by what? Well, okay. But you have 12 inches and then the 3 inches. So you need to take 48 divided by 36 because there are 36 inches in 1 yard, right? So you need to take 48 divided by 36. So how many times is 36 going to 48? 1. So minus 36. You're left with 12. So then we write that as a mixed number. So that becomes 1 and 12, 36. Is that simplified?
No.
Oh, that becomes 1 and 1/3. So 1 and 1/3 yards. Check understanding. There are about 18 cups of water in a cubic foot of snow. About how many pints of water are in a cubic foot of snow? So we have 18 cups. Then they want to know about how many pints are in there. So how many cups are in a pint? 2. So there's 2 cups equals 1 pint. So am I going larger to smaller or smaller to larger? I'm going smaller to larger. So I'm going to divide, right? Okay, so 18 divided by 2 equals 9. So 9 pints. Next one, 90 inches, 2 feet. Am I going smaller to larger, larger to smaller? Smaller to larger, so I'm going to do what? Divide. So how many, and I want 3 steps. I want that smaller to larger and then it's divide. And if you were going larger to smaller, then you would multiply. But then your second step is your conversion. So how many inches are there in a foot? So 12 inches equals 1 foot. So I'm going to take what? 90 divided by 12. So what is 90 divided by 12? What times 12 gets me closest to 90 without going over? 7. 7 times 12 is, and then we have 6 left over. So that becomes a fraction, correct? So 7 and 6/12, is that simplified? No, that becomes 7 and 1/2. So 7.5 feet. Okay, next one. Ounces to pounds and ounces. Am I going larger to smaller or smaller to larger? Smaller to larger. So is that what? Dividing, right? So then my conversion is how many ounces are in 1 pound? So 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So 100 divided by 16 equals. So once again, we can go back to 16 is about what? 15. So how many times does 15 go into? 6 times, right? So let's try it. 6 times 6 is the 6, mentally carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 3 is 9. So we have 6 full pounds and how many ounces? 4. Okay, so there was my 3 steps. My smaller to larger equals division. My conversion of 1 pound equals 16 ounces. And then I showed my work of dividing 100 divided by 16. So 3 steps, okay?